Hey, that intro's a vibe.
You want the full thing, yeah? You want the full
Bro,
thing.
I need the track so I can bars it now. I'm
quick,
joking.
quick insight. I used to actually make beats. I used to actually produce and enjoy making beats, and a lot of the intro stuff, and even on my other intro stuff, the beats are all made by me. It's something that I used to like really take pride in. Spitting bars wasn't my thing, but sonically, yeah, I've got the ears, you know. So maybe one day we can make that happen. But thank you all for tuning in today. Again, I bring you another huge show, Manchester United versus Chelsea match preview. Um, Huge show, but not really a huge season. We try and move, we try and keep the conversations going, we try and support our team. On today's show, we have my good friend Firma, the hardest barman in this industry when it comes to the football bars. You heard it here first. And then I have good friend NK, all the way from
Well, I'm in the States now.
all the way from the States.
I'm
So
away
we're
from the States
representing
now, yeah.
worldwide.
Worldwide.
Worldwide, yeah. And yeah, NK always active on the Twitter spaces. So if you're someone who enjoys a good conversation, listening, or giving your input and want a bit of a debate, NK is your man. He will keep you active and awake all hours of the night. Trey is supposed to be joining us as well, and he is fashionably late, but it's okay because he's got the Man United top on. He was trying to probably adjust the top and stuff. So yeah, Trey, how you doing? Big up yourself. Thank you for joining.
God bless my brother, man. Wait, I just need to do this before we do the show, man. Hold on for a second, man. Hold on. He already knows, man.
Already, what are you gonna do?
You already know, man. You already know what's gonna happen, man. Because obviously Ten Hag's confirmed. It's only right, man.
There we go. Stone Cold Ten Hag music. I might even, for you, I might even do a special one where I actually play his intro. Hopefully, YouTube don't copyright me.
You know what? Just big up the lads anyway, man. Love the energy, love what everyone's doing in terms of just putting your passion for football out there, and that's what it's about at the end of the day. We need to, show our passion, show our love, and hopefully inspire the next generation to do big things. So
that's lads, right.
Big up.
Yes.
I just funny you say that. Me and NK were just saying it. When you like something, you start debating, shall I do it? Can I do it? Will I do it? And that's what I did for a while. And then one day I woke up and bought a bunch of cameras. And then the next day I bought a bunch of mic and then some lights. And then you just have to take the leap, right? You just have to take the leap. But we're here. Thank you all for joining me once again. Thank you for your time. And today we're going to break down the not so very important game. Man United versus Chelsea. That's tomorrow. Have you seen the lineup? The predicted lineup. Shall I run you through the predicted lineup?
Yeah, this is interesting.
Before the lineup, the main thing is the amount of players that are actually out injured. It's very weird that considering the injuries that we already had throughout the season and everything, Sancho all of a sudden is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah,
he's got tonsillitis.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I love Sancho, but tonsillitis, really? Can it really affect you? I mean, maybe he's actually feeling very weak. Okay, maybe he's feeling very, very weak. But I think he's probably thinking, is it worth me sacrificing an injury and playing this game? If this was a Champions League game, do you think he pulls out from a tonsillitis? Let me just put it out there. Does he pull out? I don't know. I don't think so. Scott McTominay, sorry, he's out with a knee injury. Luke Shaw is also out. Maguire is out. Cavani is obviously checked out. List of injuries. But we have De Gea in net, Dalot and Telles on the wing backs. We have Varane in the middle with Lindelof or Maguire. They're still not sure. I think Maguire is going to be fully out as far as I'm aware so far.
Yeah, I think they're saying something like for the rest of the season. That's what I read.
Injury as well, isn't it? Well, I didn't know that Scott McTominay is injured,
He's got a knee issue, yeah. He's got a knee issue. So De Gea, Dalot and Telles, Varane and Lindelof, Bruno, Matic, Elanga, Rashford, Ronaldo. I think I'm missing one more player. But yeah, that is it so far.
Yeah, you're missing one more player in midfield. Someone's missing in midfield.
Let me just
Fred.
check.
Maybe
Fred back?
Matic.
The one
I think
player
I think Fred is back, but they don't want to rush him. They don't want to rush Fred. So
yeah, Fred is one of them that maybe is in talks, but he's not sure if he's going to be back yet. I think he's the type that he probably wants to play.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he wants to play, definitely.
But we don't know. I think it is. Let me just confirm. Yeah, it will be Fred. It looks like it could be Fred. That's what it looks like, anyways.
Not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah, it looks like it could be Fred. But look, that lineup alone, I don't think we get any points. That lineup alone. I've seen Chelsea's, obviously, there's talks of Lukaku coming back, maybe, or Havertz up front. And obviously, there's Rudiger coming back as well for them. As much as they're not in form and they've obviously had a bad loss against Chelsea, they're still a much stronger side on paper. So they have Aspilicueta, Mendy, Silva, Rudiger, Reece James is back as well, Jorginho, Kante, Alonso, Pulisic, Havertz, and Mount. So pacey players, experienced players. And yeah, what do you guys think when you hear that lineup? I'll start with you, NK.
You know what? I don't have no emotion towards the game at all. I'm just upset because I was supposed to get my haircut around that day. I'm just upset I canceled it to reschedule it. That's what I'm upset about. But in terms of the lineup, I don't know. Chelsea, they got a cup final kind of coming on. I think they kind of like secured the third place already in the league. So if I was them, I'll be thinking about resting players. Don't want to get no injury before like a big cup final too. With United too, I feel right now we're kind of like playing for pride now. I read that we are on course to actually get our lowest points tally in the Premier League history, you know. And that's very bad because I think that our lowest is 64. We got 54 points now. So that's 10 points and we got 4 games left. I don't really know how we get that 10 points to even match that. So for the players, it's just bad. Whoever get a chance to play, I don't know whether they want to play for pride, they want to play for their own future next season. I'm really not sure, but I just want to probably just see like an entertaining game. Hopefully, we see some young players come on, show us potential. A bit like what happened. I think was it like 2 seasons ago when we played Wolverhampton and it was a dead rubber game, and then Elanga and a lot of players made their debut, and they actually gave a good account for themselves. So if we can just do that way, we can bring some young players inside, and then they can probably like show us some potential and just give us something to just brighten the season by. I will enjoy that.
Firmo, what do you think about after you hear that lineup? What's going through your mind?
Boy, you know what? I was thinking that I started the season thinking like, you know, how are these players going to get into this team? How is that player going to get into this team? Fast forward now, we're looking very Diet Coke, like very light. Do you understand? And it's like you're thinking like, you know, I mean, it's not too different to the team that played Arsenal. I reckon. I think like obviously if Scott McTominay is injured, then who's going to partner Matic? You have to figure it out. If it's Fred or whoever, I don't know what they're going to do. And then obviously Sancho for Rashford. I'm assuming. Or, you know, I mean, Ronaldo's going to set up top. So it's not too different to what I'm assuming it will be the team that we played against Arsenal. I think the only worry is that midfield. If there's no Fred, if he's still not fit, Scott McTominay's injured, and all you got is Matic, then, you know what I mean? It's a bit worrying because Bruno, yeah, he plays and you've fielded him there before, but he's not really like been disciplined at times as well. You know what I mean? So it's just a bit worried. It's a bit worrying. That midfield is just a big gaping issue. And for me, I just wonder why we're still in this position. Fast forward, you know what I mean? Like we brought Scholes out of retirement 1 year to try and fill out this midfield void, and you know it done well on the Fergie days. Then we brought in Carrick, and then he's left, and he's since moved on. He's now coaching. Do you understand? And we still having an issue now. Fast forward now, where we're just talking about Matic. and he's pushing on as well, about to leave. So it's crazy, bro, and it just further emphasizes why the changes that is taking place and needs to happen. So Paul Mitchell, whoever, needs to happen, like, and we can't let the board or anyone try and try and sway any sort of rational decision making behind that. Look, my thing with Chelsea is that I think obviously we're going to lose. Man United, I think with Chelsea, you saw their last game against West Ham, right? That last minute goal again, Pulisic scored that last minute goal in like the 89th, 90th minute or whatever to win that game against the 10-man West Ham. That was a big win for them. Do you understand? That was a big mentally, you get me, and for the table as well. Big win for them. It would have boosted their confidence as well. It shows that they got that grit. They fight right to the end and they got that victory. They've been in decent form, to be fair. Yeah, they had a blip with Arsenal where no one could really see that coming. Do you know what I mean? Not a scoreline like that anyway. And now it seems like they've bounced back. You know what I mean? It was a hard game against West Ham, but they bounced back. And overall, you would have seen, like, in their form has been decent. With Man United now, look, I can't remember the last time we put 2 back-to-back wins together. Do you understand? I can't even remember. Now it's feeling like I can't even remember when we got a last win. Look, the one against Norwich was a mad grind. In our last 5, 6, 7, I don't know, we've probably won only one game.
We got 2 wins in the last 2 months.
2 wins in the last 2 months.
We've had 1 win in the last 5 games, 3 losses, 1 draw, 1 win.
Wow.
And Chelsea have had 4 wins, and obviously the loss against Arsenal.
Bro, Faz, that's statistics, Man United statistics of a team that's battling relegation. That really is a team. Like, if you would have told me that's Everton stats, I would have been like, yeah, that makes sense. This is Man United. And the reason why my mentality is like this, in terms of, it doesn't matter who we're playing, I'm always going to feel like we're going to be losing. I always feel like we're going to concede within the first 5-10 minutes and just start at what's that handicap match? It's going to be a handicap match from day one. Chelsea's going to come out, blitz us, get a goal in the first 10 minutes, and it's going to be a mountain from there. The difference is, anyway, to conclude, is that Chelsea were able to bring off guys like Pulisic, bring on guys like Lukaku, even though he's not really on great form. Who's Man United turning to on our bench? Our squad depth is gone. It's gone, bro.
We actually don't have, we actually, running down our injuries, if we look at the list of injuries, it's actually baffling how many players are injured, and we actually don't have replacements for them. If you look at Fred, hip injury, Shaw, calf injury, Pogba, calf injury, Cavani, calf injury, Greenwood, inactive, Maguire, knee injury, McTominay, knee injury, Sancho, tonsillitis. I mean, we might as well, at this point, other than playing the youth, we might not even have enough players to go to a game. Literally, other than calling up the youth, we might not even have enough players to put a squad together. That alone is embarrassing. That is not any questionable thing. Oh my God, players injured. That's embarrassing. The whole fact that this many players are injured at the same time and we can't replace them. Trey, where's your head at in terms of, when you hear that lineup and the list of 6 or 7 players that are injured, Fred being questionable?
Honestly, bro, it's very, very simple. I think you sound like I'm a bit. Is the sound all right? Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Hear me? All right. No.
Yeah.
Look, with Manchester United right now, what you need to understand is very simple. We just need to press the reset button. Ten Hag's coming in. I know it's cliche, just saying we shouldn't really be focusing on what's going on now. Let's focus on the future. But look, for this situation, if I was Ralph in this situation, I would have just gone to the academy, look at the under-23s, look at the under-18s. Got 4 games left. We just need players that just want to, you see the badge? You see this badge? I just want to see players that play for the badge. That's it. Like, no money, not wages, not anything else. Just go out there, play for the badge, give it 150%, and that's it. Win, lose, or draw, if you give it 150% on the pitch, I love it. That's why, there's a lot of memes out there when Hannibal came on against Liverpool with the tackles and stuff like that. Man, I loved it. I'm not gonna lie, even though like the game itself, it was a bad game, but I love the fact that a young player got his opportunity, He's on the pitch and he's giving it his all, and he's showing the passion that you need to show when you're playing for Man United. So these players that are about to play tomorrow, even though the odds are against us, they should see this as an opportunity where, all right, let's go for it. Let's show why we're representing Manchester United, because I think it's an honor to be wearing the shirt, because a lot of us, like, a lot of kids from the UK, I'm sure their dream was to eventually, be a footballer and be representing Man United. So we just need to get that mindset changed again. And I definitely believe Ten Hag is going to be the guy that's going to reinforce this culture. Not just him, but the players that he brings in as well is going to reinforce this mentality that we need to have, where we need to be fighting for the badge at the end of the day. So with the players that you mentioned, I don't even care who's on the pitch, if it's Maguire, Varane, whoever, just play for the badge, put in 150% effort, and I'm sure whatever the result, the outcome is, obviously we're going to be proud regardless, man. Because obviously right now we're in the mud. Manchester United, right now we're in the mud right now. So we've got
so
4 games left.
Chelsea, they've got the situation with their owners. They're not sure about. They're obviously Lukaku, one of the probably worst signings they could have made for this season, and they've had a really bad season as well. No, considering they almost went on a title run at some point, and then the injuries hit them. It's like, who's in more of a deeper mud situation?
We are, bro.
Of course, we are.
I promise you. You know why we are, and I'll just simply say it in these. I'll simply say it in this way. You see, Chelsea. If you look at this structure, do they have a director of football? Do they have one? Just asking all these
Yeah,
guys.
there's a woman that runs things down there. There's a woman that runs things down there.
So they have someone that's making footballing decisions, and they've been able to adjust with the times, like the top teams in Europe, by having a director of football. Since Ferguson left, since David Gill left, we've not had someone in this position. So the decisions that we've made from that level has been poor. So Chelsea compared to a Manchester United, we've not won the Premier League in 10 years, whereas you can look at Chelsea's achievements. They just won the Champions League just last year. So I think whatever they done up to this point is a lot better than us, man. So the reason why we need to get excited is because it looks like things are going to be done properly. Hopefully, Paul Mitchell does come in. Hopefully, we get someone that could assist someone like a Ralph, for example, and get these players in. Not the players that are sort of worth a lot commercially, but players that just want to play for the badge and do the job as well, man. And that's all I care about at this stage. And I want to see a philosophy. I want to see Manchester United have an identity again. And I definitely believe that, with faith and a bit of luck and grit, and with the right players and with the right backing, I think Ten Hag 316 is gonna cause a scene, man.
I mean, there's rumors going about that Paul Mitchell isn't I'll just touch on Paul Mitchell quickly, but Paul Mitchell isn't a priority at this time and moment for Manchester United or the Glazers. Going off Ralph's interview as well, and etc. I don't know how much of advanced talks they are with Paul Mitchell. I do know, or it is going about that Ten Hag's assistant Van der Gaag is more likely to come. He's already notified the club that he's negotiating a contract, so I think that will be of much higher priority than getting Paul Mitchell in at this
I
time
love
moment.
that. Yeah, I would absolutely love that. At the end of the day, I just want Ten Hag to have the most backing. I just want him to just be backed at the end of the day. So let him bring in whoever he needs to bring in, back the man in the windows, let him have a say in which players are coming in, which players are going, and let the man implement his philosophy. Because the way we have to see it as fans, this is going to be a 2 to 3 year project. He's not
But
going to.
what about this Chelsea game particularly? How are you feeling about this Chelsea game particularly? Do you think we can
Season's
grab
done.
even a point?
Season's done at the end of the day. We just need to take each game as they come. It's a survival now. And with the players that are available, or the players that actually want to get in the pitch and do a job, they need to go out there and try and get a job done, man. If we can't win these games, then what's the point, man? We need to try and go out there and win these games, man. So let's go for it. But I want to see younger players on the pitch as well. I want to see some of the young guns now because
Yeah.
if we don't have players available, throw in some of the kids. Just throw them in.
I
I
think
want
it'll
to
be
see them.
the perfect time now to actually
Yeah,
have the younger kids. Yeah, it's the perfect time.
yeah. I want to
Let's
see
run through.
Hannibal.
Let's run through some of the comments. Hamza says, "Fast. There are rumors flying about that Ten Hag could sell Maguire for 40 million euros.
Oh, that would be the best.
Wherever you heard this rumor from, please. I
To
hope
who?
it's
To who?
Dude, that's what I'm
Leicester.
wondering as well.
I don't know. Leicester, maybe.
For, for a
Um,
refund.
refund. It says, Faz, are you worried
Cash
about the
that.
fullbacks when Ten Hag comes into United? Except for McTominay and De Gea and Bruno. I am maybe Fred. Except for those four players, every single player I'm worried about, including Ronaldo. Ronaldo always likes to have a contract negotiation in summer. He does that wherever he goes. He did that at Juventus. He did that in Real Madrid. Is it Mendes, his agent? Mendes is going to sit down with United and probably discuss, where's my client going to be in 2 years' time. I think Ronaldo still wants to play another season or two at a highest level before he checks out to MLS or Middle East or somewhere or even Asia. So every player is in trouble. Every
Well, don't
single
you
player.
Ronaldo's chasing Rooney's record
Um,
in this short
Ronaldo
time?
doesn't chase records. Records chase him at
It's
this
true.
point.
No,
I
it's
think
true.
that's the most best answer I can give you. I don't think he's definitely not the person to chase records. I think records chase him. He puts numbers on the board, and I I strongly 95%, unless something drastic happens and Ten Hag comes in and says, clear this whole bollocks out, everybody, these players go. Um, unless that happens, I think Ronaldo most definitely stays one full season.
Same,
And
yeah,
even after that, I think he stays another half a season
yeah,
as
yeah,
well. I
yeah. I know.
actually do strongly believe he stays for at
I
least
think
guaranteed a
there's
full
a
season.
mutual respect. There's a mutual respect between him and Ten
Yes,
Hag.
yes. So let's see. Let's see. I definitely know he's staying one season. He's not told me personally, but I can just you'd know
You
if he
know,
was
you
if he
know.
was going to be leaving, he'd be talk of the town straight
Well,
away.
one of the things that I read was that because it was a World Cup season, he didn't want to move clubs during the
That's
World Cup
right.
season, and he just wanted to literally concentrate on the World Cup, kind of like coming.
That's
So
right.
I think
Yes.
that will be key with him staying because the World Cup is coming, and he want to just be in a good kind of like mental space for that World Cup.
That's right. And it's his last ever
Okay.
World Cup. It's Messi's last ever World Cup.
Ooh.
So it'll be he'll
Bring
become
it home. Bring it home. I want to see an African. I want to see an African team win the World Cup, please, man.
hope.
It's,
Yeah,
it's
we can
time.
only hope. We can
It's
only
our
hope.
time, man. It's our time.
Alia says United will not be fixed as sooner. Erik ten Hag is not a magic touch. United is too big for any manager to come in and work with ease. Pressure is huge and time is less. He then goes on to say, new manager will always fix old managers' mistakes, and to put his own team and vision will take a long time. We are still in a dream that we will be champion in 2 or 3 seasons, but that may never be easy. And I agree with him.
I agree.
I definitely agree. Me, myself, I know there are people in Twitter spaces that NK will know who won top four next season, who won Champions League football guaranteed next season, who won a domestic cup run next season. The season after, they won Premier League.
He just
And
raised his hand like he's one of them.
and look, I will be honest, I personally had the same amount of expectation until the Middlesbrough game, until the Watford game, until the Leicester game. Because I personally, this is no disrespect to any fan at all, but because I personally go to the game in the stadium, it's, it is different. I respectfully, anybody agree or disagree, it's different. When you watch it on the TV, when the TV's gone, you can just turn it off and get about with your day. But when you drive and there's people driving hours, flying hours, and you go to a game, support your team, almost lose your voice, week in, week out, week in, week out, and then you come out the stadium and it's just this whole slap of negativity, this slap of loss, this slap of upset that hits you. It really gets you down. I used to be angry because I thought our team can do better. I am not angry anymore because I don't think our team can do any better. You get angry and upset because you know what your capabilities are, you know what your abilities are, you know as a team, as a squad, what you're capable of. But when people on high six-figure wages are missing spot kicks, are missing empty nets, at that point, you have nothing left to do, you know, and you've seen it again and again.
Quick question, Faz.
Yeah, go on.
Do you know anything that happened? Why, like, Ronaldo didn't take that penalty? Like, I was just confused. He had a goal.
He said,
You know,
and
going for the second goal.
Ralph said, and I believe or don't believe. So, okay, to answer your straight question, Blayton, Ronaldo said he didn't feel like he was in the right mind frame to take that penalty.
Man,
That's the first one. Against the one, which one was it against where Bruno missed earlier this season? He missed another one early this season. Was it Villa?
Yeah, that was Villa. Yeah, Villa.
I don't know why Ronaldo didn't take it. That one, I don't know why Ronaldo took it. And I actually, again, went on camera and said, Ronaldo, you're here. You're the GOAT. You're God knows how many trophies deep. You have more trophies than some of these players combined, if not the whole squad combined. So why would you not tell Bruno step aside? So that one I did have a go. But this one, I understand. If he actually mentally didn't want to take it, the pressure, if he didn't want to take it, you know, cool. Another thing, if the armband was on him instead of Bruno, does he take the penalty? You know, I think he does. I think he lives up to his captaincy role. He definitely lives up to his captaincy role when it comes to Portugal. I have seen him encourage other junior players, come on, take a penalty. You're good at taking penalty, you know? That's what he does. But he's not the captain. So I think he's an extremely respectful professional. And he says, well, captain, here you go. You take the free kick. You take the penalty. And obviously Bruno is not having the season of his life, is he? So what else can we say in terms of tomorrow's game, though? I really do not understand what Eric Bailly has to do to get minutes. I simply don't. Either they simply dislike this person, they really don't like him, they're trying to ruin this. There's something going on in the back room where they don't like him or something. I don't know. Either he's not part of the plans, or the other thing is the youth. At this point, I think Ralph, he's not trying to save his job, but there was an article that came out, and in the article it said the board have reminded Eric, Europe is necessary for next year. Europe is important for next year.
What's Europe? What Europe? What? Any type? What? Third
well,
tier?
They haven't said,
tier?
but this was before the Arsenal and Liverpool games and stuff. This was like at least 4 weeks ago. And Eric Ten Hag, in the article, it says Eric Ten Hag reminded by the board that Europe is very much necessary for transfer targets, for just, you know, the next manager coming in, for budgeting, for finances, whatever. And is that what was in Eric Ten Hag's head? Is that why he kept putting out the first team squad to see if they can win some points? Because if we could have forget the Liverpool game, but if we could have beaten Arsenal, top four is still on. Right now, even Chelsea can actually drop points. They could actually relax tomorrow if they wanted to. They still got 2 games in hand. They could relax tomorrow and still be okay with top 3. But Arsenal game was it for us.
Top four has been gone. It has been gone. And you know what? In the past few weeks, I've been very vocal towards kind of like Ralph, because obviously we're always gonna blame the players. We're always gonna blame them. But you know what? All the big games that Ralph had, he has kind of like disappointed in every single one of them. I think the only one that he managed to kind of like grab something out of it was Atletico Madrid away from home, which he got a point, because that was the first game that we said, oh, you know what? We're going to see what Ralph is really about in terms of like tactically. And to me, tactically against City, against Liverpool, against Atletico, even against Arsenal, I feel like tactically he has set it very wrong in terms of like how to get something out of the team. So tomorrow too, even if we were like we had a chance to even get top 4, I don't think he would have even set the team in the right way to literally go and kind of like get a game. In my opinion.
Okay, I have to come in there and say, look, I agree. I somewhat agree that, okay, tactically, maybe the manager, Ralph, hasn't set out the team to go and win a game. But there is only so much you can do as a manager when the players cannot string two passes together. You can't go physically go and control Wan-Bissaka and try and make him make a pass. You can't physically go and tell on the pitch, tell Bruno, stop running so much. Run in your position. Stop going AWOL in the pitch. You can't do that. You can't go. It's not your fault if Bruno misses a penalty.
Yeah, but
It's
first,
not your
look,
fault if
Michael
Bruno doesn't
Carrick,
score the
when
goal.
we played Chelsea away, when Carrick came into the team, he knew he had a game plan. He knew what he wanted to do, and then he knew that, okay, you know what, maybe this game plan would not accommodate Bruno. So what does he do? He dropped Bruno. He went there, he sat back, go, and we nearly literally went away with 3 points, because he just knew that I'm not going to go there and try to play with space behind or just play with players that will kind of like jeopardize me not getting something out of this game. So as a manager, you make that kind of a big call. If you have to drop him to get your points, you do that, because at the end of the day, you are going to be judged. And then after you, like, they're going to look up to you like, you pick the team, you send them out there. So if anything, you get the blame. And that's what I feel like he should have done.
I think
No,
Ralph.
I
Ralph
agree with him. I agree with him definitely. Sorry, my brother. I agree with NK definitely, man, because it just shows you as well, like the decision making from the top. Like it goes back to my same point. The decision making from the top is poor. Like for me, just why didn't they just give Ralph the advisory role straight away? Let Carrick just be the interim until the end of the season. Then I reckon certain games would have been different under Carrick. If you don't even remember the games that we had under Carrick, so it was Villarreal, Chelsea, Arsenal, right? And what did he get? Two wins and one draw.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Man,
but I think
last ditch goals,
go on.
solid ones, bro. I think you're right. I think Ralph is too real for these players. Where things so I think it was the best decision that they've made, but for the future footballing sense of things, like
yeah.
in terms
But also,
of like,
he did not like the article that came out. Sorry, and Firma, but the article that came out a few days ago that said these players are blatantly not following his instructions. These players are blatantly. Remember when he came second week in, he tried the pressing, and the player said no. What do you mean run? What do you mean I have to run off the ball? What do you mean I have to press as a team?
Because they've been getting away with a lot from Oli. Oli let them get away with so much. Like,
but you got to deep it though. You got to deep it. Look, this is a team, right, under Oli that's finished third and second, right? This is a team, yeah, that we know is better than this, right? I know that there's it's the jury's still out in terms of whether certain guys are world class or not, but we know that we're better than this. We know that we shouldn't be scraping a win against Norwich. Do you know what I mean? We know that we shouldn't be losing against or dropping points against relegation battlers. Like, we know this. This team can do better. When you're brought in as a manager, right? Part of being a manager is man management. Part of being a manager is understanding how you get the best out of these players. If you've got to put your arm around the guy, you got to do it. I think Ralph Rangnick here has been too real too soon. Do you understand? Where in the sense where these players now have been put off. A lot of them are demotivated. A lot of them, it's probably lost the dressing room. There's a lot more divides. I think like he's doing his job as a senior man, that's supposed to be higher level strategically, on the pitch, saying everything out as it should be said to the media, to everyone like that. And it's not helping these players like on the pitch. We're loving it as fans. We're loving that the team's being outed. In terms of performances, it's not helping. We know that Oli's method was more impactful than Ralph's method right about now. Ralph hasn't managed in over a decade.
What, Firma, you know what? I have to quickly add this, man. You've made some great points, my brother, man. I have to quickly add this, though. Making Maguire the captain was the biggest mistake
But we
made.
can say this now. I mean, look,
because that just messed up. That for me, that just messed the whole dynamics of the dressing room, in my opinion. Because if someone like De Gea was a captain, for example, let's say before Ronaldo came, you understand because he's been at the club for 10 years. It's a respectful one. Whereas, like, just think of the dynamics. We've just signed a player. He walks into Manchester United, and in the next few months, he's the captain of Manchester United. Like, think about it. That's just already those decisions.
Well, that shows you the state of our club, because even that, like, there wasn't really there's David De Gea, right, at that point, and there's probably Maguire. There wasn't too many others. But my thing about it is that Maguire should have been pulled up from when he was up in, where is it, Greece or whatever it is, where he got into that madness. And the news all over. That would have been the opportunity to say, do you know what? Let's remove it. Man United, look, when Xhaka, it's slightly different scenarios, but when Xhaka took off his shirt and threw it down and everything like that, bro, it was his captaincy was straight away questioned. You get me? It was disrespect. When you're disrespecting,
I mean, Arsenal are very lethal when it comes to cutting players,
bro.
And also, with Fema point too, the perfect example is look at the manager we're going to be facing tomorrow. When Tuchel came to Chelsea, the football that he plays, that's not what he used to play at PSG or at Dortmund. You know, he came there, he realized that, look, I got this group of players. I'm not going to ask them to do something that they cannot do, because if I do that, I cannot get the best out of them. So he found a way to get the best out of the team. But you know what? Playing what do you call it, 3 at the back, being very compacted and everything like that. And it became hard to beat. And I feel like when Ralph came into, yes, he asked them to press. They couldn't learn how to press. But that was your plan A. Where was the plan B? And that's where I feel like we failed, where we didn't have a plan B, you know. But as Fema said, you know what, as a consultant, it's very great. But the club have suffered from Champions League football as a result of appointing him as as the interim manager. But it's just how you look at it. I mean, some fans probably just say, hey, you know what, we're happy we're not going to get Champions League because it means less money and it's going to affect the Glazers too. But as fans, we want to see our team playing the Champions League regardless. So in a way, you can say it's the fans who kind of like suffer out of all this.
100%.
I wanna quickly touch on the article that came out yesterday, obviously, and today it's going about at the moment, anyways. Situation with Calvin Phillips. As much as this is a match preview versus United for United versus Chelsea, ain't nothing to look forward to. Season's been counted down. We ain't running for anything. We ain't on top 4. We ain't doing nothing.
I'm ready 2 to 3 years ahead in my mind when it comes to Manchester United. I'm just waiting for Ten Hag to come in and implement his thing, man, and just hope. That's all I'm doing right now.
Let's touch on Calvin Phillips. I am totally against it. I am totally against it. I have no idea why on earth you are mentioning the word rebuild. Stop selling me a rebuild. If you're gonna do a rebuild, I'm thinking new facilities in the stadium. I'm expecting young, hungry players. I'm expecting a manager that will install a new ethos into the first team, second team, third team, under 18s, everything you can think of. Why are we going for a 27-year-old injured Englishman again and hyping him up to say that he's a decent player? And the same mistake we made 3 years ago and paid 80 million for. Only because this player is 50 million, right? He's 50 million and he's in a squad that, well, somewhat could be fighting for relegation battle. So the price is a bit cheap, etc., etc. There's 10, 15 million cheaper alternatives in Europe. And also there are alternatives in Europe that could be a bit more expensive. But hey, weren't you just talking about 100 million Declan Rice a few days ago? Literally a few days ago. You were entertaining the fact of 100 million Declan Rice, 115 million Nunes, all these players. Why are Manchester United all of a sudden the team that don't go around saying, you're coming to our club? Sir Alex, when he first faced Ronaldo, he said, well, Rio Ferdinand and all them guys said to him, we are not, you have to bring this guy. At the end of the game, in the changing room, they're saying we have to. Sir Alex went upstairs and said, I am not leaving this stadium until I walk out with that player. At any cost, whatever it takes, I am walking out with that player. He's going to be a Manchester United player. Why are we like this now? Oh my God, Chouameni is going to Real Madrid. Oh my God, Liverpool have made a bid or are going to place a bid. Let's go look for somewhere else. Why? If you have gone at the same time when Koulibaly was linked to Manchester United and you claimed that he was too expensive, you went with Maguire and you made the mistake. Why are you making the same mistake again? It's the exact same scenario, just in a different position. Instead of a centre back, this time it's a midfield position. Why are we not going and saying to Chouameni's agent, no, we want you. We're going on a rebuild. You're 22 years old. You know, we can have 6, 7, 8 years of service from you. How many years of service are you going to get from Calvin Phillips when you're going on a rebuild where you want to win a Premier League, Champions League, XYZ? Calvin Phillips is 27 years old. Let's take the injury prone out the conversation. 28, 29, 30. That's it. And in 3 years, when Manchester United, Ten Hag is apparently going and hitting the peak, we're going to have a 30-year-old CDM, a 30-year-old, 31-year-old CDM. Make it make sense.
This is why we need. This is why we need the director of football. Who actually
Please
can
tell
make
me.
football-
Please, you
footballing
guys tell
decisions,
me
man.
I'm not making sense.
No, you're
Bro.
making sense, man.
You know what it is? From my perspective, right? I can see why Manchester United is going for this guy. So I don't agree with the price, 50 million or whatever like that. I don't feel like
I don't
he should
agree
be
with
worth-
anything. He could be 10
No.
million.
And let me
wouldn't
get onto
take
it.
him.
Let me get onto it because the reason with my thing with Man United is this, right? Man United is equally on a rebuild. Equally on a rebuild doesn't necessarily mean, okay, that we need to have everyone that's under the age of 23 or 24 or 25 or whatever like this. Manchester United, there's a narrative that has been put with this rebuild that we need to have every player that we sign that needs to play for the next 10 years. It's not necessarily so. I think the first thing that Man United need to do is think about who actually wants to be playing for this badge, who fits the description, who has that work ethic. And really and truly, we don't need to be going for these star-studded names to Chouameni, who is part of his mind is thinking, maybe I want to play for Real Madrid. But you know what I mean? If I get a bigger wage offer, or you know what I mean, or Man United bid more Real Madrid, then yeah, let's sell him to him. Like the mistakes, I think that will even be a big mistake, even though a lot of people say Chouameni is better and world class. Look, Man United need to realize where we are as a club right now. And sometimes that Man United's progress is going to start from not necessarily starting with the players that you want to end with. Certain players are going to be like a stepping stone. I look at Jude Bellingham. He's obviously like the main guy for me, but Man United is nowhere near getting him. Do you understand? Nowhere near getting that guy. And there's certain things that we have to do as a step ladder in order to get ourselves back into Champions League, in order to get ourselves competing again. And he ain't going to do it by himself. Calvin Phillips, and he may not have that name, star-studded name that everyone associate with like winning titles or whatever. But if you look at historically Manchester United and you look at a lot of these clubs, even if you look at Liverpool's team, Klopp made a lot of these guys household and star-studded names. Do you know what I mean? It really is going to come down to how you coach these guys, how you get them working together as a team. And I think Calvin Phillips, where he was in a Leeds team that run 24 hours of the day, you know what I mean, like high intensity. I think that can bode well. But Calvin Phillips is not a guy that can do it by himself. I still feel like we still need someone to partner him. Do you understand? Because Man United has had too much of a gaping hole where Man United will now go and get Calvin Phillips, then tomorrow go and get a Pogba replacement who's still running up and down the pitch, yeah, position is all off, and then Calvin Phillips is going to be by himself, and then you're left with the same situation. We need positional sort of discipline in a team, and you know it needs to reflect on the players that we buy. But that's my 2 cents.
The thing with Calvin Phillips is that I get what you mean by play for the badge, but first of all, he's not going to be playing for the badge because he played for our rival team, which is Leeds United. So if anything, that's the one that he's going to play for. I mean, this morning when that article broke up, me and Fema, we were kind of like arguing about it on our WhatsApp kind of like talk, in regards to that. And, I agree. I don't want a player who's 27 when you kind of like do your rebuild, because by the time where you are, you need to kind of like replace them too. He's coming from an injury too. We don't know whether that is going to affect him in the long run or not. Ability-wise, he's very quality. His quality, you would love to have him in your team the way he plays. But it's just a question of is this another short-term fix or is it a long-term project? Because your DM, which is what we have been screaming for the last, 5-6 years since Carrick left, we haven't been able to replace Michael Carrick. So if you're going to buy someone that's just going to give you another 2-3 years, is there a plan to replace him if that 3 or 5 years is up, is there a plan to kind of replace him? If that's a plan, then maybe yes. But when I read the article to first, he said that what they call it, Mike Feeling recommended him because he went to go watch him and then he recommended him. So I don't know whether he's actually like a proper kind of a target just yet, whether he's going to come back. Me going forward is whoever we are buying, whether the age is me, I want players below the age of 25. But if they want to go and buy a guy who's like 27 to come into the team now, the question is, what is the plan after that? Do you have a plan to replace him once he goes in terms of like the rebuild? Because you need to always get players to kind of like come in as we continue this rebuild. But any signing that we do, I just hope like there's questions asked and there are solutions to those kind of like questions.
I think there's a particular profile type of player that we're looking for. We know there's been a lot of players that's been thrown at Manchester United midfielders, right? But if you deep the ones that there seems to be a lot more clout to, or whatever it is guys like Declan Rice. I feel like we know that we're interested in him. Something like Declan Rice has got that passing ability. He can bring the football forward. He can defend. He's got positional sense. He's young. He's fit.
Exact same thing Tchouaméni can do, if not better.
Tchouaméni now, is he more of a... See, I haven't deeped him fully yet for me to know and confidently talk about his abilities. But is he able to, what I say, spray? Has he got that passing range? Like a Calvin Phillips has got a passing range. Has Tchouaméni got that? Or is he more of a short distance? So he
is very confident player on the ball. He is a very aggressive player off the ball. He is very confident in both half of the pitch. He's a very box-to-box player. He's young. That's the most important thing when it comes to this. The level of skills that he brings compared to his age, the level of skills that Calvin Phillips brings compared to his age, it's like this. It's actually like this.
But then they after the Premier League experience. I mean, then there's also that.
What is this Premier League experience? Please. What is this international experience? What is this Premier League proven? What have you proved? Okay, it's hardly cool. Oh, you've clanging and banging with players week in, week out. Cool. But that doesn't mean anything.
You know what? Oh, you're right. You're right. You know why you're right, Franz? You know why you're right, yeah? Because that example of Premier League experience went out the window when Liverpool signed Diaz, man. Look what Diaz is doing. They just picked a player who fits into their philosophy, their style of play. Look at him, he's flying. And that's the level we need to be at. That's why the signings that we make, it can't be a Calvin Phillips, man. It can't be like the next signings we make from now needs to be players that fit around Ralph's system. It needs to be players that fit around.
But what do you call it? Liverpool, they signed a lot of like Premier League proven guys, But a lot of their players, Mane was in the Premiership, Van Dijk was in the Premiership, even Mohamed Salah had Premiership experience too. So that is a very key factor in terms of like adaptability, because you can go spend a big money on a player. If they come and they cannot adapt into the league, that's a whole thing. Like they can fit the profile, but once they get here, they need to adapt, and not everybody is able to kind of like adapt. Some people naturally just do it. Other people take some time. Some people just never are able to kind of like do it. But in terms of like if you find the right me personally, if you find the right profile that is in the Premier League, I will go with them. My only problem with Calvin Phillips is 1, the club he played for, 2,
injury,
age,
3, age, 4, Englishman, 5. I can give you a whole list. I give you a whole list.
NK, wouldn't you do both? Like you would get
that's what I said. They need to be kind of like
it needs to be like a balance, because
there needs to be like a balance. There needs to be a balance. Well. That's what I said. There needs to be a balance. Look, if Calvin Phillips was 25 or so, and then he hasn't had that kind of an injury, even now, I still don't mind having him. Even now, I still don't mind having him, because as I said to you, the way he plays, when he comes into a team, surely I'm pretty sure he's probably going to be one of our best midfielder. But the only question is, he come this season, we start building a thing. Is that injury going to come back too? And when does he start to decline, with his age? When is he going to start declining? When he start declining, what is the next step to replace him as a club? And that's my only worry. about
Yeah,
that.
and your worries make logical sense. I'm gonna add Trebs to the conversation, who's just joined us. Big up, Trebs. How you doing, bro? You okay?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Can you guys
Big
hear
up
me?
trips, man.
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Listen. My Wi-Fi's moving mad today. I don't know for some reason, but if I cut off, sorry. You lot can hear me right, yeah?
I can
Yeah.
hear you
No,
live
we
and
can hear you,
clear.
brother. We're good.
Okay.
Hope
I
you're
just
back.
want to say, listen. This is the thing. If this is Ten Hag signing,
When are you? Hold on. When are you gonna show face? Because I know your face. But when
listen,
are you
know,
gonna
man.
give us the
Listen.
exclusive?
At this time, I'm stressed.
United Tunnel don't give us the exclusive already.
Listen,
Yeah,
I will
yeah,
one
trust
time,
me.
and right now is not a good time. Right now, when we're in a good state, yes, it's
trim.
very depressing. Listen,
Trim.
I just want to say, listen, if Calvin Phillips is Ten Hag signing, yeah, but it's whether you like or not, we have to accept it because that's the signing. If it's the board signing, that just shows you we're not learning, bro.
But how are you gonna differentiate now? Explain that to me.
I don't know.
Ralph
This is
Ragnick,
the thing.
bro.
We don't know. We don't know if that's the board signing or Ten Hag. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. It's
Ralph
just
keeps it
speculation.
too real.
Huh?
Yeah,
has
from
We
what
will
I
know.
read,
We will
my
know.
feeling recommended him, and also Ralph loved the player
I
profile,
read
but I
that
don't know
as
whether
well.
Ten Hag has approved it yet or not. That's what I
I read that
read.
as well. That's what I saw as well.
Look, if you say Ralph Ragnick, if you say Ten Hag signing, board signing, we won't know, because even Ten Hag himself, Ajax has said this in a video, and obviously he's gonna do a video with me on Friday where he'll explain in depth. But Ten Hag is known for backing his own players, even when the whole world is against them. So let's say the board does sign Calvin Phillips, or whoever signs Calvin Phillips, and then Calvin Phillips doesn't turn out what what we predicted or what he should be for us, and then Ten Hag backs him publicly, but then behind closed doors he's telling him off. That honesty is already gone. The only level of honesty I've received is from Ralph Ragnick. Will Ralph Ragnick continue to do press conference? Absolutely not. We probably won't hear from him after this season again, and you'll only just have articles flying about.
Yeah.
If it's his decision or not, we have to roll with it. Cool. But when shit hits the fan, I will be right there to say Ten Hag out. I will be right there, not even Ten Hag out, maybe. But I'll be there to say this was bollocks. This man's making fraud signings. I said this in the last last stream with you guys. The first signing will tell me the direction the club is going.
Faz, I know it's your show. Can I just comment? Listen, this is the thing, bro. Like this fan base. This is what the thing is. Why I'm literally what I this thing, even in social media, I'm gonna stay away. I said that I'm gonna stay away from spaces for a little bit. Cause you know what it is? It's this thing about sack this manager. How many managers are we gonna sack? The root of the problem is these guys upstairs, bro. It's nothing got to do with the manager. Jose failed, Van Gaal failed, Ollie failed. Yeah, Ollie was not a manager. Yeah, all right, he's not good enough manager. We all know this. Yeah, but two successful managers in world football, in my opinion, or even one of the successful, Van Gaal and Jose failed. Yeah. So what makes you think Ten Hag needs as much as tools he can to succeed? The reason why Liverpool and
but
Man
when
City
you're
are
looking at the tools, when you're looking at the tools, he might pick.
I know. Let me just finish. The reason why Man City and Liverpool are so successful the way they are right now, because every key position area is strengthened, bro. Look at the key areas. Liverpool got Matip, they got Van Dijk, they got Konate, they got Thiago. Look at the whole thing, and now they got depth as well. Diaz, they got everything is filled. We've got to do it if we just to even compete with them. Yeah, not even winning, compete with them. Every position needs to be filled. You're not gonna have that in one window. It's gonna take 3 to 4 windows. You gotta give the man time. The man has not landed in Carrington yet. You gotta give him time. Yeah, we can't keep calling for him to be sacked in his first season, bro.
No, I get that.
He's
But
given
in
the
4
tools,
seasons, Calvin Phillips becomes 29 years old.
yeah, but we don't know if that's his signing. We don't know that. This is just a myth.
Oh, back the man, isn't it? You're saying, yeah.
But okay, let's go with this is just a myth. Let's go with this is just a myth. Let's even go with the fact that maybe it's not Ten Hag signing, it's the board signing. It's a cock up from upstairs. Well, then do not mention
what I
the
say
word
to that,
rebuild.
that just means me and Devils, Devil deals, yeah?
Yeah.
We always have this conversation. If that is the board signing, that just shows you they're not doing their due diligence.
No, they're not.
I said that, bro. That's what they're not learning. That's the way I look at it. Yeah, that's the way I look at it because they never learn.
Well, the manager has come out to say that he want to stay in transfer. So I don't think the club would then sign a new manager and then go ahead and their first signing or second signing will be someone that the manager don't want. So I feel like whoever comes in this summer, I am confident that Tim Hag will literally have the final to say, look, I want him or I don't want him. That one, I know that for sure because he made that clear to us, the fans, and in that interview too. And I don't see why the club would the first thing that they want to do for a manager that just kind of like came in is to go and define him. So that I'm confident that whoever comes in, he will have a big say in that. Personally,
I feel like the fans are bubbling right now that any story of it not being Ralph signing or Ten Hag signing, that there's gonna be some
I'm shredding them to pieces.
Bro, there's gonna be all right. It's gonna be
Yes.
ESL days because I feel like the fan base are bubbling right now. I feel like
Yes.
they're bubbling. Like
because we got a manager that is coming in that you know that if he get the right tools, what he can do with this club can be amazing if they give him the right tool. So I think as far as we are worried is, can they give him the right tool for us to take us where we need to do? And I feel like that's where most of us are kind of like agreeing and disagreeing on that kind of like thing because Tim Hag is a very talented manager, you know. Well, if he get the tools, who knows what he can take us? Who knows?
Can I ask a question?
Very honest,
you know what, guys, let me quickly show you something just quickly, man. This is just the importance of having a good window, yeah? Look. You guys, you know who this is, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
Evra. This is Evra's book, innit? I love this game, yeah? There's a reason why I got this book, and I'll tell you guys why I got this book. Obviously, remember when we signed in the January window, we signed Vidic, who I don't know who in the world knew about Vidic.
Yep.
And
Vidic was really poor at the start.
Exactly. And we signed Evra as well during that window. Two players that, I would say, to the top four, they probably not would have looked at, but we've identified them to be Manchester United type players. Do you get it? So what I'm just trying to say here is, whoever Ten Hag signs, I agree with NK. I reckon it's going to be his signing. It's going to be his sign off of approval to, have this player play at the club. So as fans, we're just going to have to, roll on with the resources that we have and just back him until, the 2 to 3 years, because he's not going to come in and do a job straight away. Let's not be delusional. He's not going to come in and win the Premier League. But
no, of course not.
If he
And
could
we
implement
also
his
need to be realistic. We also need to be realistic with the players that we want at the club that we're trying to bring in. Like, we might say Tchouaméni's better, but we're competing with big boy teams like that want the same type of players. And we need to understand, Man United ain't got no Champions League. We might not even have no Europa League. Like, we're in the mud, like people say. And for us to be saying
way in any world is Calvin Phillips a Ralph Ragnick pick out. Yeah. It's impossible.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say. Ten Hag and Ralph Ragnick will
Why
look
not,
at Calvin Phillips and kiss
I don't
their
think
teeth.
so. I don't think Calvin
No
Phillips
way.
is who we want.
Ralph Ragnick, I guarantee you, if I ever get a chance to speak to Ralph Ragnick, I will ask him this question. Would you okay Calvin Phillips? He would find me a player that's 10 million in some corner of Europe that could do a better job than this whole shebang of English players. And guess what? The maddest thing is, only we buzz about English players. Ain't no other team buzz. Tell me one other team that buzz about English players like this. Liverpool, all of a sudden, they were not even in the conversation, are now preparing a bid for Tchouaméni. Why are we, if we consider ourselves even a big enough club, going and, like I said, telling Tchouaméni's agent, no, you're coming here. Your manager wants you. We're going to love you. We're going to look after you. You're going to have a good career for the next 5 to 6 seasons, 5-year contract with a 1-year extension. You're coming here. Plain and simple. What, you're going to keep 5 years for a 27-year who's going to be 28 by the time he signs or whatever? He's 28 in December, no?
26 now. 26
so he's going to be 27 in December, right? That's what? That's half a season, give or take. And then what do you mean? It doesn't even make sense. By the time we hit our prime as a club, by the time we hit any cup-winning squad, he's 31, 30 years old. It does not make sense.
I definitely feel it's a speculation because, we've been linked with him in the past. He's obviously been a player that I think Oli identified after the World Cup, I believe. So I think when Ten Hag comes in and when his team comes in and when everything starts to happen in the summer, we'll start to know the players that Ten Hag wants, man. At the moment, I just think it's all speculation.
A Ten Hag signing is timber. Makes sense.
Yeah.
A 21-year-old centre back / right back makes perfect sense.
What do you think will happen? You know what? What do you think will happen? Just sorry to cut you off, guys. What do you think is going to happen with Van der Beek under Ten Hag?
Van der Beek does good under Ten Hag. I think so. I've seen his gameplay when he played with Eric Ten Hag. Van der Beek has a lot of skills, has a lot of abilities that we haven't been able to unlock. We haven't been able to unlock certain skills of certain players when they've come to United anyways. Depay, Di Maria, Sanchez, whoever you call it. You know, a lot of players, we've not been able to unlock it. It's not happened for us. But a proper coach is able to unlock skills from players. For example, Pep and Gabriel Jesus. Jesus is about to leave, yet putting numbers on the board like he's the main man. And he ain't been the main man for how long? He ain't been the main man for how long? And he's a young, semi-young, 25 years old, something like this, 24, 25-year-old. And Pep has managed to unlock his skills. Man put 4 on the board last game, put 1 on the board yesterday. He didn't got an assist as well, and he's about to leave. The maddest thing is he's about to leave. He even scored the goal yesterday and did a celebration like Arsenal call me. Yet we aren't able to unlock players. A proper coach brings young players and then benches them, nourishes them, encourages them, teaches them. Watch the type of gameplay I play. Watch what I want from you. This is what I want from you. Slowly introduces them to the squad. That's how you pick out.
But first, also with Ten Hag, he bought Dele Blink back to Ajax when he was old. He bought Talic from Southampton too when he was old too. So we can say the age thing. So it's just a mix.
Huntelaar was banging before he even came at his age.
So he does buy what he needs to do to get the best out of the team. As I said to you, my only problem is that if that is the signing, which I believe that he will have a say inside it when he comes, what is the plan once he starts declining? Are we going to do what we done with Carrick when it took us God knows how long to try to replace him? We still haven't replaced Michael Carrick yet. So that's the whole.
We haven't even replaced Herrera.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter what the age is. We would love them to be young and get the 10 years. But if it's not and they come in, what is the plan when they start declining? And that is the bigger question.
Do you know what? Right? I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised if we don't get the best out of Donny straight away because he had a team like Ajax who are technically like-minded players that sort of suited him. That link-up football that could give him that. When you're at Man United now, he hasn't necessarily got too many guys around him like that, especially in the central midfield.
He will next season. I'm buying stocks on him.
Maybe next season it will change, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets pulled out and held bench until or doesn't integrate properly until when Ten Hag actually brings in the players that can support him. Is he going to build a team around Donny, or is he going to say, you know what? This league requires a different type of player. Like, it's not a surprise that every player, like with when Ralph came, Hydera, do you know what I mean? We're linked with all of his old players and stuff. Now Ten Hag coming in, you're hearing Anthony. Do you know what I mean? We're hearing Timber. Reality, we don't even necessarily know what this guy needs for the Premier League. The Dutch league is very different to the Premier League. That tiki-taka technical thing, Pep is doing a madness with it. But Klopp is obviously doing the opposite of it and getting effect as well. What we've heard Ralph Rangnick say is he needs those physical type of guys. And right about now, when I look at Calvin Phillips, I can see the physicality aspect of that. I can see that this guy's in a team that is very high press and high intensity, right? We can't necessarily rule out that it's not a mixture between Ralph Rangnick. It could be Ralph Rangnick signing, saying, do you know what, Ten Hag, let me get you on board with this. But we can't necessarily just assume that, guys like Timber, all of these no names, will not no names, but guys that are in Dutch league will be more suited because Ten Hag probably he could have come and rip up his whole sheet and think, you know what, I need to start from scratch. This is a whole different type of mold or type of setup of player that I need to bring into this league because this league is mad physical. Daily Blind, we brought him in. It didn't work. Do you understand? We brought in guys like that, and it didn't work. Yeah, they were smart, but it didn't work. And the Dutch league is a whole different. It's a whole different setup.
But there's players that play in different leagues. For example, you know, like a Vinicius Junior, for example. His style of football is suited to
It's
like
like
the
a
Premier
Rashford,
League.
a
Do
better
you know what I
Rashford.
mean? Like he's very, very sharp and direct and rapid, but he doesn't necessarily have Premier League experience to have that style of play to play. Like there are players outside of the Premier League that we can actually sign that's suited to the Premier League style of playing. We just need to go and identify these players. The problem that we've made is that we've had problems identifying these players because we've not had footballing guys making footballing decisions. So recruitment's been poor. Our scouting's been poor as well. So now that Ralph goes upstairs and hopefully, you know, we can have some sort of setup in place where Ralph is corresponding with Ten Hag and they're coming up with players and they're identifying players like, okay, this is Manchester United type of players, or this is the type of player you need to implement your philosophy. Regardless, this is going to be a 2 to 3 year process. You see, if you look at a clock, for example, it took him 4 years exactly for him to see the sort of get the rewards from what he's put in. Obviously, he won the Champions League, but it took him 4 years to build that team. I'm thinking we got to look at that sort of blueprint in terms of building, and we just got to just have hope that this man is backed with all the resources needed, man.
Let me say something in terms of these transfer situations, right? Look, at the end of the day, Trebs, what he said, I actually very much agree with him. No matter what I say about his wrong signing, he can go and sign a 32-year-old player. If that's what he wants, really and truly, like every single individual has to get behind him, except for the people that say, "Oh, give me top four, give me a domestic run in the first season." You know, that small minority. Except for them,
Yeah,
rest of us, we really just have to believe in the process. And we
yeah,
know players can have a bad season and then boom, come out of nowhere and have a season of their lives. We've seen that, for example, with Kyle Walker, John Stones, Fernandinho, Bernardo Silva. He's having the season of his life. Karim Benzema is having the season of his life. He's never scored 40 goals in his entire career. At the age of what? Is it 34, 33? He's putting up
fine
40
wine,
goals.
man.
Fine
Fine
wine, bro.
wine.
That's
Yeah,
exactly what I was gonna
Yeah.
say.
trust me.
So
You know for a minute, man. You know.
Fine wine, bro.
it can it
Fine
can
wine.
it can happen. So we just have to, like I said, believe in the process. For me, I'm just a bit skeptical now. You know, like I say all the time, PTSD. I'm a bit like,
That's it.
if you're mentioning the word rebuild, rebuild, you're mentioning you've hired consultants to do up the stadium. I'm relocating my seat for the next season, you know, and all this for my season ticket. I'm expecting a bit of young, hungry players. That's what I'm expecting. But look, at the end of the day, if that's his tactic, if he is really 100% in charge of the squad, like as per his contract, I'm hoping, and if he really is okay in, then cool. My only thing with Calvin Phillips, take everything aside. When I read this, right, it said Manchester United are seeking a cheaper alternative than Chouameni, and Calvin Phillips is the next best option. That really peed me off. That really peed me off because you want to go for a cheaper option, but Chouameni ain't that expensive. Is literally what? Couple of million more. Literally a couple of million more. So it
I heard
doesn't
it's gone
even
up, you
make
know.
sense.
I heard yesterday's price isn't today's price no more, you know. I heard it's gone up.
So as far as I knew, his price was
The man, because of
50,
Liverpool, innit?
55 million British pounds. 55 million British pounds.
I'll take
Now
that.
it might be 60 now, 65 because of, you know, but even I don't know if it's true, but I'm hearing Liverpool to put a bid in of 40 million. 40 million.
And
Really?
you know what? Because bear in mind as well, we paid 65 million for Fred as well.
Yes. Big bucks for Fred, big bucks for Bissaka. So
Yep.
it doesn't make sense why we are not willing to spend a little bit on a young player,
Trust
you
me.
know, for a change, on a proven player in the European environment that possibly, you know, is an proper CDM as well, that you can't replace and you won't have to worry about replacing in the next 3 years or 4 years. He can stay in the club for a very long time. just makes logical sense. But hey ho, who am I? I'll go with what Ten Hag goes, right? We'll have to literally bite the bullet for the next 3 seasons. Yeah, we'll have to bite the bullet for the next 3 seasons. I'm gonna quickly ask you guys for your score prediction for tomorrow, and then I'll come to mine. NK, score prediction for tomorrow.
You know what? Yesterday I was thinking a 2-2, 2-2 draw. I think I'm gonna stick with that because Chelsea got an awful record against us at Old Trafford. I think they haven't won there in like 10 seasons. So I'm gonna go for draw. I'm gonna go for draw. But yeah, I'll go after. I'm still sticking to that 2-2 draw.
They have an awful run against us. They haven't. The last game was a draw. In the last time they faced us, the one before was a draw. The one before was a draw, and then they did. No, the one before that, again in 2020, we beat them 2-0. So yeah, it's been a draw, and FA Cup only. I think FA Cup semi-finals they beat us 3-1. Few years ago. Look, I don't know. I don't even know what I can predict. I'll ask you, Firma. What's your prediction for tomorrow's game?
Look, for me, anything I've learned is that anything to do with like head-to-heads or form or anything like that about opposition is a myth. I feel like
I agree.
They could be in the worst form. They could be relegation. They're still going to duppy us. I feel like Man United's going to lose. I feel like the scoreline's going to be, because we got Ronaldo, there's always a chance of getting a goal. Before I was thinking maybe 1-0 to Chelsea, but then because Ronaldo's on the pitch and there's always a chance of getting a goal. So for me, I'm probably going to just say a safe 2-1 to Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? Maybe Ronaldo gets a consolation, but more time Chelsea's just going to dominate that ball. And we're going to concede early as usual now. It's tradition now. And yeah, that's how it's going to be. We're going to be back here complaining.
And Trey, what's your predictions for tomorrow, bro?
You know what? My predictions for tomorrow. Firstly, what I want to see is some players just fight for the badge. Firstly, man, I need to see blood.
I'm sorry. Let me just tell you, don't tune in tomorrow. Don't watch the game. You ain't gonna see that.
I know, man. I know. Obviously, bands aside.
Not seen that.
I know, bands aside. I'm saying 2-1 United, man. Let's go for the underdog. I think that maybe, you never know. You just never know. Ronaldo might nick a last-minute header. He might get lucky with a Rashford goal. Who knows?
Wow.
Who knows?
You're optimistic, bro.
I'm just going for it. I'm going for it, man. Let's see what happens, because we've got a decent record against Chelsea.
Tell us his corner kick does the job, yeah? Or Bruno's corner kick does the job.
I'm hoping though, Tellez, in terms of set pieces, Tellez, corners, let him take the corners consistently. I don't like when they chop and change. Sometimes Bruno, sometimes Tellez. One person take it. Let Tellez take it. I think he's got good delivery. And look, you've got a few good targets. You've got Ronaldo, you've got Varane, you've got Maguire if he's going to play. Let's utilize our players and actually go for it at the end of the day.
Well, my prediction is we will concede within the first 10 minutes. Ronaldo will then sue in around 35th or 40th minute. We will then look deluded, and we will then look discombobulated. We will forget who our players are on the pitch. We will try and play from the back. Bruno is going to make a awful pass, which will possibly then lead to Kai Havertz scoring a goal and it becoming 2-1 to Manchester United. We might even concede from a corner, and it might be 3-1, considering Mr. Maguire is not there. If Tellez doesn't try and Jackie Chan the ball, if Dallo somehow remains composed and can string two passes together, if Fred even plays, if Bruno somehow manages to run 55 kilometers and do something instead of just run around like a headless chicken, and Rashford, I think he's just going to be stood at the sideline, isn't it? I don't think we're going to see anything from him. I'd be surprised to even see him have a shot on target. The only two players I'm really looking forward to, well, three players, is my favorite keeper, David De Gea, Elanga, and Ronaldo. That's it. Other than that, I think City. I'm sorry, Chelsea definitely take it. Chelsea will look at us as like quick, easy 3 points.
Let
Let's
me
go.
let me let me quickly just add something to my prediction though. My prediction is purely based on how Ralph sets up. Because if we set up with two defensive midfielders, it just lets me know that this guy's playing for a draw. Whereas if
Mm.
I actually see him play maybe two eights, one sitting, then that lets me know, okay, he's going for it now. Maybe try something different.
We don't
Because at
even
the
have
end
two
of
DMs.
yeah, so let's just flick on one and play some of the kids and just play number eight. I want to actually see us
Not
like for
happening.
me. No, but the
Not
thing is, I know it's not happening and it's me being delusional. I know, but at the end of the day, look, I play football. I play obviously the games. Look, I've studied the game to a point where I have an understanding of what to do. When it comes to attack, if you're playing against a team that's attacking, at the end of the day, sometimes you got to go fire with fire. Like in Liverpool and a City, you got to go fire and fire with these teams.
But Chelsea are known to be that team that are not good when it comes to teams that park the bus. Chelsea can't break teams down. They've had this problem all throughout the season. They cannot break teams down. So if Ralph tries to protect David De Gea and just parks the bus, I think Chelsea might struggle. But will he
He
do
cannot
that?
coach. He cannot coach that. He doesn't have it in his locker to coach us to pack the bus. He doesn't have
Yeah,
it in
man, he
locker.
hasn't got that
So
exactly. Let him do his
forget
press,
about it.
man. Yeah, man. Let
It's
him do
mad
his.
how, bro. It's mad how we're even talking about the tactics, like and everything like that. But bro, this is just a myth, bro. Just forget
I
it, bro.
know,
Just
I know,
forget
I read, I
Just
read, I
forget
read,
it.
I read
I
something
know.
on
It's a
Twitter.
myth.
One of the journalists, he said that we should just forfeit the game. Ralph take a mic, stand in the middle of the pitch, and then just take questions from the fans. That would be the best idea. Yeah. And I agree with him, man. That would probably be
I
the
agree.
best, man.
I think
Bro.
that would be the best as well.
Easy, easy.
I'll tell
Listen,
him. I'll tell him. Look, stop playing FIFA in real life. The 4-2-2-2 formation. Nah, I don't want to ever see that in Manchester United again. Honestly,
I'm just waiting for the posh Chelsea fans to be like, Sue, at the end of the game. Sue. That's all I'm waiting for, bro. That's what they're gonna do.
love that.
right.
It's
Listen, it's been an amazing show as always, and it's been a good debate about the transfer. It's been a interesting one, and once again, Trey playing his Stone Cold Steve Austin intro music for Ten Hag. I just hope it doesn't build too much pressure on Ten Hag. And you know what the craziest thing is? We're gonna break all and everything Ten Hag down this Friday with Ajax and Sabi from We Talk Ajax. We're gonna have loads of questions, any and everything to know about Ten Hag, his mentality. We're gonna pick open his brain and understand everything that goes on inside. The next best bald-headed manager coming to Manchester United. But yeah, listen, I've been Faz, NK, Trey, and Firma. I'm gonna put their social media in the description below. Make sure you go and check them out. The beautiful panel, the all-star studded Champions League panel. Tomorrow is the United versus Chelsea game. I'm gonna go there, so the vlog will be out soon as the game is finished.
Yeah,
Then the
lovely
fan
vlog,
cam
man.
at the United View channel, you can catch me there. I'll be then on Friday is the video with Ajax. Saturday or Sunday is the full view on United View. And after the stream, half an hour break, and let's go and see if Mr. Good Evening can make it a bad evening for club, which I'm
Faz,
hoping he
Faz,
can.
Faz, quick one, Faz.
Yeah,
On United View, you have to, please, man, just for me, yeah.
go
You
on.
got to. Just say Ten Hag 316. That's it. That's it. 10,
I'll, I
10 Hag 316. Change is now.
changes now. You need
That's
to
it.
get. You know what? I need to get a T-shirt of Ten Hag, Stone Cold Steve
And
Austin,
it says
and yeah, with
316.
the
Yeah,
players and everything, and
yeah.
That's
yeah,
That's
and
actually
it.
a good
everything like that.
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
and you know how mad it is? I actually have a T-shirt printer, so
Oh
I
my
might even
days.
turn around. I might even turn around and make one.
My
But
days.
listen, it's been amazing. It's been great. Thank you all for watching, and yeah, come and watch along with me shortly in an hour's time. But other than that, thank you everyone. Great